Boom. Okay. Let's make sure everything's going straight and working. Okay. Let me pop out chat thing and get the full screen. Pop out chat. What's going on? All right. Got that's going on. Live stream is good. CPU 64%. Awesome. Okay. All right. Ha! Nice one. A 2-season climate. No need for winter gear. Funny. Yeah, I guess that is an advantage, huh? Is that you just don't have to experience this stuff like we do here. But you are missing something. You are missing that winter gear in winter could be a lot of fun. I mean, it's a pain in the ass to have to work in sometimes, but when you don't have to work and you get time with the family, winter is a really fun time of the year. So let me move over here. Hey guys, stick around with me. Just give me a few minutes to get everything worked out here. All right. There. Fresno. Buffalo. I've been to Buffalo. I know what your winters are like. I was actually in Buffalo during a snowstorm. Pretty bad. Okay. John, not a problem getting back to you. I'm sorry it took me, 4 days to get back to you? I guess got so inundated with emails, buddy. And I just got so many. And sometimes, you don't want to just give a half-ass answer to it, so. Ha! That's funny. Nobody ever really does. People who live at sea level have no idea about climate change as you move up a mountain or just up in elevation. I mean, here in Chicago, we're at like 900, I think it's 82 feet above sea level, which is not high when you consider that we live on a lake. But when you're up in the mountains, oh, how things change. I mean, just not just temperature, but your body changes. People just don't get that. So Mumbai, New Yorker asks, what's the future path of the channel? Well, what is my future path of the channel? Definitely going to keep doing boot reviews, that's for sure. Minneapolis is in the house. They know winter. we're definitely going to keep doing boot reviews. I'm going to keep doing work gear, so you're going to get pants and shirts and stuff like that. And Rangemaster says it's 7 feet above sea level. We are just gonna keep expanding. And I'm not gonna just zero it in on just working outdoor gear. I'm actually gonna start looking into other brands for footwear, for boots, other companies that make boots. So, Portland, Maine. There we go. Portland, Maine. I've been there also. I loved Portland, Maine. All right, so here is a first great question. Looking for a warm hard hat liner. Okay, so where do we find hard hat liners today? Whew, that is a tough one. So I'm going to just do a quick little Google search because there's a company that I know out of Canada that makes some great hard hat liners. Okay, so I can't remember what the hell the name of the company was, but I'm sure they'll pop because they're one of the few that are out there. No, 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 no. Cooper Safety. The reason why soft sole mink oil stuff is so inexpensive is because it's just it's not really good stuff. It works, it does what it's supposed to do, but I'm sick of yeah, the hard hat and the hoodie combo does not work. Okay, check this out. Now something like this hard hat liner from Full Source, okay, it's gonna be a lifesaver because it buckles into the hard hat itself. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit here, guys. Let's see. Right in there. It's got these little things that slide into the suspension system, and that is what you want because it covers the neck. You can tuck it back down into the back of your shirt and keep your hard hat on and just keep all that heat generated inside that thing. So, yeah, definitely hard hat liners are important. Yeah, hard hat liners should not cost you any more than 10 bucks. I mean, if it's FR, okay, if it's a complete fire retardant because you're cutting, torching above your head, below your head, whatever, FR stuff, yeah, you know it's going to be a little bit less because you know it's going to be Nomex or it's going to be arsenic treated, but a good hard hat liner should be 10 bucks. It should be 15 bucks, you know. I scorned your channel for a video on what to do on boots right out of the box and couldn't find one. Huh? Okay. John, I'll get right back to yours about what you should do with boots right out of the box, but here's a winter question. What's a good ideal amount of insulation for work boots? 200 grams, 400 grams, 200 grams, 400 grams. Okay, so 400 grams, where are you at? Jay, you told me earlier, so let me scroll back up into that. You told me earlier where you're at. Buffalo. Okay, so Jay's in Buffalo. So he's asking now. Buffalo gets real winters. Buffalo gets, if I'm not mistaken, feet of snow. I mean, that's not a word. Feet is not a word, but they get multiple feet of snow. Wasn't it last year you guys got like 6 feet of snow or something because of the Adirondacks over there? Okay, so what's a good amount of insulation? Well, insulation is a really crazy thing when it comes to work boots. Because if you're not from a cold climate, your feet, your hands, and your head are going to be the first 3 things that are going to get cold. So it's different for everybody. If you're from Buffalo, Jay, you've been through winters as we are here in Chicago. We understand winter. We understand the sub-zero. Our bodies just acclimate between extreme hot, humid, and extreme cold, bitter, dry. So in my opinion, 400 grams is better than 200 grams for somebody who understands polypropylene liners, wool socks, 400 gram insulated boot. You're wearing it from November to March, and then you're switching out to summer fall boots. Definitely a good way to go. 400 grams is fine. 600, 800, 1,000, those play in the realm of guys who don't really wear winter boots or who don't understand winter and aren't from naturally they're not from a warm climate, I think that should make sense, right? Cody, you're absolutely right. I should do a review on winter work gloves. I was actually going to do a review on, okay, so I'm going to split this screen real quick. Okay, here we are at Ironclad. So I was going to do a review on this one here, the cold condition waterproof, and this guy here, the Tundra. Now, neither one of these gloves is inexpensive, and that's going to be kind of the problem. Is you can get really good gloves that are cheap and warm, but you're not going to get anything that's going to be the quality of Ironclad when it comes to protecting your hands and keeping your hands warm. Ironclad does a really good job of understanding work environments. So yeah, Mark understands. So Ironclad is just really good stuff, and those are the two that I would really want to do the reviews on. Yeah, okay. So Thorogood 3600, a pair of darn tough wool socks, dry, warm feet, and comfortable. You're damn right. That's a really good way to go. What are good cheap sock liners? Eric, that is a great question. Good cheap sock liners. Okay, so I'm going to have to go, let me shoot around the net here really quick so I can give you guys an example of this. I'm going to go into Amazon, but I'm pretty sure I can find what I'm looking for there. I don't know of any of the other workwear sites that stock stuff like Amazon does. Okay, maybe I'm not going to go to Amazon. Wow, have you ever seen Amazon not load up in like 30 seconds? Do you actually know anyone who has bought $700 boots? You know what? I don't know anybody outside of myself who has expensive boots, but I'm also a different type of person. So no, I don't know anybody walking around the street in $700 boots at all. I just don't hang around with those types of people. I mean, you don't find guys that wear $700 boots salmon fishing. You just don't find it. I mean, they might have on like a $300 pair of Red Wing Irish Setters or something like that, but they're not. They're not wearing stuff like that to do. Okay, here it is. Bam! I knew I would find these for you. All right, Mark. No, it was Eric who asked about a good cheap pair of glove liners. I'm splitting the screen. Okay, this is a Fox River Men's polypropylene glove liner. Okay, it comes in sizes. Now, it's really important that when you buy the polypropylene liner that it fits your hand. You don't want a polypropylene liner to be loose and like lofty. Even though when gloves are too tight, they cut off circulation to your hand and they are not going to be as warm as if you had a big loose glove on. But remember, when you're working, you're moving your hands, you're pumping your hands a lot. Most of the time, people, when it's cold outside, they keep their hands kind of like in a position like this, or they hold their coffee cup as they're watching a football game or a beer. So this is a different way of keeping your hand warm. When you're working, you're grabbing tools, you're moving stuff around. You want things to be kind of tight so that you can promote the circulation and retain the heat. So this polypropylene glove liner is awesome. If you want a link for that, send me over an email. I'll send you a link from my Amazon affiliates code thing. Fan everything wool in winter. Yeah, I agree. The more wool, if you can wear wool. Now a lot of guys can't wear wool, and that's funny. Some of the best long underwear, you know, are wool. Hold on, I'll pull them up. All right, so yeah, Fox River. Eric, you got it, buddy. A non-custom dress boot longer than a 6-inch. So you want to know if there's an 8-inch or 7-inch dress boot out there? There is. I would have to spend some time searching out when we're talking pure dress boot. But most of the time when it comes to dress stuff, guys are not going to be wearing over a 6-inch dress boot. All right, so long johns. Okay, the best long john made is this. This smart wool bottom, and there's a top that matches, is the best long john you will ever own. And yes, it is $100 for the bottoms. You can get them cheaper sometimes. You can find them at Campmore or the other ones here at Trading Post. You can find those a lot cheaper, but that is a awesome long john. Yeah, great one. Kinco. Kinco is a great glove company. Cody, if you haven't seen Kinco gloves, they do a great glove that is, I mean, the thing about Kinco is that they're just knocking off Ironclad. They're knocking off Ironclad from like 5 years ago, but they're still doing a good job. Knockoffs, sometimes when companies can knock off companies, sometimes they can do a really good job. So the icebreakers are good, I have to admit, but Joseph, I just got better results out of wearing stuff from Smartwool over the past 15 years. Before then, everything I wore was, oh man, it's the Too Faced stuff. I can't believe I'm just having a brain fart. Can you get them off season and camouflage for like 50? Yeah, minus 33s. Gloves, products, welding gloves. Hold on, guys, I'm pulling up a glove here if I can find it. Synthetic levers. A lot of these websites out there, they just don't function very well. Some function really well, but some are really hard to work on. They just don't move the way they should. All right. So that's general utility. That's the unlined, cut resistant. Where is the disc glove? So Kinco gloves. This one here, the lined winter glove. This is a really good glove. For the price, for what you're going to pick it up at, this is a great glove. So Cody's asking the Leicester River Brushcraft Boral Short. That's not Cody. Cody's asking about the Glacier Ice by Wolverine. Have you guys seen the Glacier soles yet. I'm trying to get my hands on a pair of the Glacier compound sole that you'll find on all the Wolverine products. You gotta remember that Wolverine owns Caterpillar and a couple other brands, so they're all mixed in there. But let's see if I can't find it on this site. You also find that Glacier Ice sole, that sticky sole on the new Mucks, on a pair of new Muck boots, which is really cool. Oh. It's hard to stream and work the net at the same time. It's like I should almost have my sites prepared here. Let's see. Oh, I wish I had the number on the Glacier Ice. This would make it so much easier. Oh. I gotta go to Wolverine. Wolverine boots. I love when you search out Wolverine online and you get pictures of Hugh Jackman, is that his name? Guy who played Wolverine. It's like, no, I wanted the boot company. All right, men. Let's see. Boots, outdoor, hiking, boots. Wow, I cannot find anything with the Glacier Ice on the Wolverine, even on the Wolverine site. Finding everything but. You would think it'd be the first thing that would pop off the site. Huh. This is interesting. Yeah. I can just imagine what holding a piece of metal in the middle of winter, you know. Shit, how cold that must be. What the Jeez, okay, I'm gonna dump Wolverine. I think anything from Rocky that's insulated, as Metallicludo is saying right there, that the Rocky stuff is just great. Anything from Rocky is great. Still trying to find the Glacier Ice. It is not popping up. I mean, 6 months ago when they were talking about this, you know, they were guarding this boot like they didn't want anybody to see what they were coming out with. And now we get this. So these sole compounds, these are something else. All these little parts here. So as it gets colder and slipperier, these things, these X's and these squares and all this stuff is supposed to stick to ice like glue. Now, I don't know if it's true. I haven't I haven't gotten my hands on a pair of these, but I will. I'll get my hands on something that is made with this compound, and I will definitely try to get the idea behind the chemistry here. It's got to be something that's added to it, added to the urethane. That's all. The area Cascade square toe. I got some. They're broken in. They were great. Yeah. Anything from Ariat's going to be great. I sound so biased saying that, but yeah, all the Ariat boots are great. Have I seen the Davenport insulated up close yet? I have not. I've only seen the Davenport Compto, the summer version. I have not seen any insulated stuff from Keen. Keen hasn't sent me any winter samples yet for the channel to show off and test and look at, and you know, so hopefully soon Keen is putting some stuff in the mail to me so I can get it out there, we can talk about it. What's in the cup? Coffee. Coffee. This is all coffee, yes. No alcohol, just coffee. Okay, so that's a good one. My opinion on the... Oh, hold on. Yeah. I don't know. My opinion on that rubber sole is... This is a tough one. I like the compound. I like the way it wears. Personally, I've had it wear out a little bit more premature than I would like. But remember, I'm comparing that to boots I have in that collection of casual dress boots that a lot of them have the nylon cork sole, and that sole lasts forever. That sole is like glue. That sole is awesome. So when you compare it to a rubber sole, but the rubber soles are just so much more stickier when it comes to that type of boot. I mean, I think a rubber sole is better for somebody who's more in a more of an executive role and needs to have a boot that can go from place to place and not worry about stepping out of a cab onto icy wet concrete and then onto like marble stairs as you're walking into some sort of law office or something. So yeah, I think that rubber sole is a good thing. Now, if you wanted to talk about all day wearing just in a casual world, that it wasn't going to be a casual work boot, but you're just going to wear it after work, then I think I would go with something else, personally. Or I would look for other stuff, you know. I understand that Allen Edmonds comes with that one, but there's so many other new casual heritage type boots on the market right now that your choice of soles and everything, and there's, from what I've noticed in the last couple of months, that there's just more guys who are getting into repairing shoes. So there's going to be an influx of shoe repair services going on really soon. I mean, not all over the place, but there's going to be guys out there, and a lot of guys are going to move to the net and are going to want you to send them their shoes. So hopefully they can do good work. Now, would I be sending a $300 pair of heritage boots to a guy that just started repairing soles? Probably not. I'd probably give him a year, and by the time you're wearing out any of your soles, they should be good. All right, so General, Chippewa Roper for a work boot or double H harness boot? That's a good question. I'm going to have to go with double H for the fire and ice sole. And that sole just wears forever. I think I did do a review of the Chippewa service boot. if I'm not mistaken. Um, I swear I did a review on the 6-inch. Let's see, hold on. Let's see. Chippewa service boot, 6-inch, 8-inch. Huh? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I did the 8-inch boot, and I'm thinking I did the 6-inch boot. Interesting. Nope. I did the 8-inch boot. That's what I did. So yeah, I would definitely do the review on the 6-inch boot if there is some difference to it. Because the 8-inch boot, look at that little beard. Ha! Little beard guy. Yeah. Is there, well, I guess I'll figure out if there's any difference between the two of them. I'll definitely do a review on that one. I'll get a pair of those. I can understand why you love them too. It's one hell of a boot. That thing is built badass. Napa, you heard? Double H harness boot. So you think that Chippewa is a better boot than the Double H harness boot, huh? Copper rough and tough versus amber. Yeah, that is, for color wise, that would be a very, very tough choice. Coffee maker preference, French press, percolator, Keurig. Preference. I use a French press for like 15, almost 20 years. And just this year, the old lady made me break down and buy one of those Keurig machines. So, do I have any thoughts on Wrangler Star? I have no thoughts on him whatsoever. He really doesn't perk or doubt. I really don't. I don't know the guy, so I have no thoughts on him whatsoever. I usually base my opinions on people after I've been in the room with them. I spent some time talking with them. I figure out where they kind of stand with their life philosophy personally, not as, I don't know who the guy is. So I can't even make a judgment call on him. I agree, guys. French press is the way to go, but there's something about pressing a button and hot, warm, wonderful oil is spit out into your cup, and it's the same every time. No measuring necessary. Yeah, I agree. I got some Arborwear pants that I need to get the review done on. They are outstanding. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Arborwear, but hell, I have two Arborwear sweatshirts. I've had one of their Arborwear sweatshirts now going on like 3 years, and it's my favorite sweatshirt, but they sent me another one for review, a 3/4 zip, which I got to review both of them at the same time because they're just the same type of stuff, but man, it is awesome. Large gas station coffee. Ugh. Yeah, that's a really good point. Arborwear isn't for fat guys at all. No, I actually had to take a 40 by 36 in their pants in order to get them to fit right. I mean, I'm not saying I'm a fat guy, but I'm no little guy either. But yeah, they could use a little bit to, you know, on their sizing scale. What cameras do you shoot with? Arborwear is a hoodie. Arborwear is a company that makes a hoodie that instead of having, it comes up over the head and it's big enough to fit over your hard hat or your face shield or whatever you're using. Since Arborwear is for logging, tree falling, and that type of stuff, it's just, their hoods are just out of this world. Bacterial soup. Yeah, anything beats AA coffee, that is for sure. So somebody asked, so Mumbai, New York, what cameras do you use to shoot with? My camera gear is very simple. Fuji X Pro 2 with an 18mm and a 35mm all the way. Canon 80D with nothing but Sigma art lenses. And most of the reviews, except for this right now, are shot on a Canon XA10, which is a kind of like a middle-of-the-road HD video camera. So, oh, there's a great question from Jay. Jay understands the cold. Line pants versus line bib overall pants. All right, line jeans versus overalls. That's an excellent place to start. So, line jeans. Every guy that's over 50 loves his line jeans. And I guess because I'm almost there, I've been looking at line jeans thinking, I might have to start wearing those. But when it comes to work, now depending on the type of work you guys are doing, if you're outside all day long, no reprieve from the cold whatsoever, fleece line jeans are awesome, but you're still probably going to need thermal underwear. Now, when it comes to lined overalls, the beautiful part is you can have thermal underwear, sweatpants, or workout pants, or whatever you want to call pants that are soft and comfortable, pajamas, on underneath those. And now heat is about capturing heat, so the more lofty layers you can have as that heat's trying to escape your body, the better it's going to be for capturing it. So lined overalls are the best. You buy them three sizes bigger in the waist. You're comfortable all day long. You're warm. You can stand around. You can put your hands inside them and warm up your hands. They're just outstanding. And for me to say that Carhartt doesn't make the best overalls would be kind of silly, right? I mean, they do make the best lined overalls. I have not seen anything from Rail Riders. That's a good question. No. Okay, so 1889 jeans, I have had no experience with those. That is something I'm just not, I haven't been privileged to it. They haven't sent me any of that. They really do just see me as being a workwear type guy. So I'm not riding around on a cool motorcycle or doing any of that stuff. So they're not sending me that type of stuff. Even though, I mean, I've got the whole boot collection down, but they're still not sending me that. So yeah, I haven't seen there. But the tactical pants about being nut grabbers. That's not 100% true. Okay, these new Condor pants I got, they don't grab you in the nuts. When you go into a prone position or you bend down, They don't reach around from your ass crack and squeeze your nuts. It's really nice. They are really nice pants. Plus, the knee pad entry is on the outside of the pants, and you can tighten down the knee pad to actually stay in place. It's a true tactical pant. I love it. I'm with them. Business just said thermal undershirt, having a cashmere sweater underneath. Okay, as weird as that is, cashmere is a great insulating top layer. Now, do you want to run out and pay? I mean, what's a cashmere sweater cost today? It's got to be like $150. Do you want a $150 sweater on as you're digging a hole in the front yard? Probably not. But you know what? You snag one from a thrift shop. You know, you snag a few cashmere sweaters from the thrift shop for $10 in the middle of winter, and it's right on. I mean, there's a reason why all the hipster kids shop there, right? And not saying they look good, but at least they're warm. Well, 511, they're building their gear for, I don't know who they're building their pants for. I've been trying to wear 511 pants and Black Hawk pants now going on 10 years, if not more. And I buy them, I wear them, and I usually end up giving them away to somebody else. And they usually end up giving them away to somebody else. Condor, I think, is just on top of things. So Veritech tack pants, I'm not familiar with Veritech, and I'm about to become familiar. We're all about to become familiar with Veritech tack pants, because if you're suggesting it, let's see. Let's see if I can get the old internet to find stuff here. Phantom Ops. That is a huge price difference there. So Veritech pants. Okay. It looks like they have a super long rise, so they're not going to grab you in the nuts. The knee pad entries on the outside. That's quite nice. What's their size scale like? Oh damn, look at that size scale. 54 by 36. Shit. That's a great size scale. 48-36, that's got the big guys covered. Huh? That's a good call there. Who called it? Eric called it. Nice call, buddy. I have not checked out, so Doc Martens composite toe safety boots, I have not checked out anything new from Doc Martens yet. I am not really that happy with any of the Doc Martens stuff. Doc Martens is I still see the Doc Marten ads, and I see the skinny little guys that look like they're skinheads, or they look like they're, rude boys from the 70s, and it's just, it doesn't call my attention as a work item. I know guys across the puddle, you guys love the Doc Martens, but it just doesn't call my attention. Awesome. I'm glad you got the hat. Doc Martens were super cool in 1999. Doc Martens were super cool in 1985, too. They're not super cool today. It just doesn't work anymore. Along with frosted tips from NSYNC. I saw a real funny picture of, oh no, not NSYNC. Whatever the kids were where the Timberlake guy came from, whatever his band was, when they were still in that band, and he had that big blonde afro. God, what a goof. It's funny, somebody told him he looked good. Maybe it was Weinstein, huh? Can you get the hat locally? Yeah, you can come. You're around the area. Just come down to Starbucks at Costner and Irving Park. Meet me there, and I'll get you one of those hats. Yeah, I always ask myself, why do I know things too within conversation? Phew. I don't think, you know what? You're right, Eric, you're right, that Doc Martens only seem to be for hipsters, but I don't think the word hipster really applies to the people that are wearing the Doc Martens. I'm not trying to defend hipsters at all, but there's something else, you know? I don't know what they are, and it doesn't matter what they are. It's as long as everybody's happy, right? I mean, if you feel the need, you're going to wear your Doc Martens. I mean, there is something sexy about a woman that's wearing a pair of like 16-hole Doc Martens with like black fishnets, right? I mean, it's still a sexy thing. You can't go past that. But, you know, for us guys, Doc Martens not the way to go. We got better stuff to do. We got longer boots. We got boots for men. General, just shoot me an email. If you want one tomorrow, just let me know. Pick out the color, lime green or black. All right, guys, 3 minutes. I'm going to fill this thing back up. Red Wing 52. Why do I know that number? Hold on, let's see. Yeah, that's really understandable. Not many people can deal with the heels on loggers. Let's see, that would be Works. It really is, wearing loggers is really about training your foot to wear a logger. Like, you just don't put loggers on one day and be like, oh, this is the most comfortable thing ever. You really have got to train your foot to wear those things. Any suggestion on work underwear? Whatever fits. With all those new underwear companies that have come out in the last year, you know, I listened to the Joe Rogan podcast, or I did. I can't say I do. I did, and he always had that sponsorship for that Me Undies place, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that. Having polypropylene. First thing is, I don't know about having underwear that are not made from cotton on your private parts. Yeah, a buddy of mine just picked up a bunch of those butt naked underwear, and he actually had to call me like into the day of wearing them, saying these are the most comfortable thing he's ever had on his ass. And I really didn't want to know that, but I thought it was a good bit of information, like, you know. So yeah, everybody tells me those buck naked underwear are the way to go. So that Under Armour. Let me grab my coffee, guys. I'll be right back. I guess I should really have something like a commercial break running, like something that comes on the screen, like boot guy will be right back, commercial break. So the Under Armour compression stuff, I can't wear that. I personally cannot wear anything close to my body. I can't wear anything that's nylon-y for a long period of time without it smelling like an onion. And that goes for the top half and the lower half. That stuff just doesn't agree with me. How does it feel across the 10,000 subscriber mark? Well, it feels like everything I originally set out to do is being accomplished. Like, yeah. I think Duluth is, I mean, if you've seen the video of me going out there and them not letting me record inside, I still bought the stuff and I still brought it back here and I still looked at it, and I wasn't impressed with the pants. The boots, on the other hand, you know, okay, I'm going to fully answer this. I'll be right back. I gotta get about 50 done. Whew, that is hot. Okay. So, Duluth stuff is really good for some people. It fits a certain type of person really, really well. I'm not one of those people. I'm a little bit too, I don't know, Scandinavian, let's say, as a good friend of mine always calls me. But yeah, you know, as far as work pants go, there's other stuff out there. I mean, that's probably why that Helly Hansen stuff is really favorable with me, why it fits so well and why it works so well. I understand the Duluth stuff is just like it, but, you know. Now, I've been getting the Duluth catalog forever. It was one of my favorite, that and Lie Nielsen, and the other one that I used to get, all these tool catalogs I used to get, Duluth always came with those. And I mean, it was always great stuff. When they first came out with the fire hose stuff, it was great stuff. The slimmest jean was a 20-inch leg opening at the bottom. Yeah, well, they're thinking that you want to fit that over not just a regular work boot, but something that is massive. I'm just kidding. That's not what they were thinking. Sizing isn't really, back to the sizing thing with Duluth, their sizing isn't consistent, but actually sizing isn't very consistent with any of the manufacturers today outside of companies like Wrangler and Levi's, I think, are the two that you can really depend on. If you bought something more than once from them, it's going to fit the same the next time. But in a flooded market like this, I mean, goddamn, we've got so many things to choose from today. You know, we're off, say, 50 years ago, the guys had like a handful of stuff to choose from, and everything was regional. And it's not regional no more. We're in a global consumer-based economy. We can get stuff from anywhere if we want. Hey, the Yankees just scored. So Napa asks, he's kind of weary of wearing the harness boot as an auto mechanic, a fear of scratching the customer's paint, which is why I lean towards the chip wall. Okay, that makes sense. I got you on that one. That's why you don't wear any metal when you're around customers' cars. You wear, Velcro belts and non-metallic buttons. Yeah, that makes sense to me, man. Afraid their ballroom jeans would make me look like I shit myself. Yeah, that's something else that's really funny. When they think they're going to give you more room in the crotch, but yet they don't consider the male shape, or they consider the male shape of those that are, I don't know. When you make a really long crotch, you got to pull your pants up high. If you're wearing your pants up past your navel, there's really no point in that. Wow. Any opinions on using a sheepskin footbed in order to keep your foot warmer? My opinion is this: stay away from the sheepskin footbeds. Completely stay away from them. They are a hotbed for stink and bacteria because they're so lofty. There's so many little compartments there for sweat and stink and dirt to stay and just grow and become very, very much like a cheese farm. Stay away from. If you want to put something inside your boot, like an insole that's going to keep your foot warm, a wool felt liner. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So these right here, these super feets, these are the best wool liner to keep your feet warm, give you support, and make your boot feel like $1,000,000. This is the best insole you can put in there. This is the best. Now, I'm not going to say that regular wool felt insoles aren't good. And I'll show you just some regular wool felt insoles that are going to be a fraction of the price. Something like this, a basic wool felt insole, super warm, great insole. Thorogood did release the Omni. It was not everything they were hoping for. So, yes, let's see. Mark, between you, me, and a guy that I know that works at the liquor department at one of the Jewels in Chicago. Jewel is a food store that has I don't know of anybody else who owns them that can say good things about them. Any thoughts on Filson? Yeah, I have lots of thoughts on Filson. It's very, very nice stuff. I don't own any Filson stuff. You would think with all the outdoors things that I do with the fishing and whatnot that I at some point would have bought a Filson flannel shirt or a jacket or even a pair of wool Filson pants, but never got around to it. General Napa misses getting pizza from Dominic's. How can you miss pizza from Dominic's? Come on, you're a North Sider. How can you miss pizza from Dominic's, man? We got so many great pizza places. Sano's, La Villa. I mean, come on. Yes, I know somebody else that wears that Filson Mackinac jacket, and they also love it. They tell me great things about it all the time. I picked up a pair of Red Wing Blacksmiths today. They're my first pair of real high-end boots. Super excited to break them in. Make them my own. So you picked up a pair of Blacksmiths today, Red Wings. I hope you have them on right now, and I hope you're going to spend the rest of the night in those boots and just get them nice and hot and warm and sweaty and help that break-in time happen and just wear them around the house. All right, I don't want to say anything, but I mean, a cardboard box with some marinara sauce swiped across it with maybe a few, pieces of any cheese thrown across it is better than a Domino's pizza any day. We were actually looking at a place in Gurnee a while ago. Gurnee is as much as it's away from this city, Gurnee is awesome. It's quiet. I mean, it shuts down at 7 o'clock and you can actually hear things moving around. It's a wonderful place. See, I never thought that pizza would be such a tough thing to make all around the country, but I guess it is. Everybody always tells me that. Huh. Cardboard with marinara. Yeah, anything is better than Domino's. The little kids, they love the Domino's and Little Caesars though. But they have the taste palette of, kids. They haven't defined it yet. All right, so where were we? We were talking about winter stuff at one point. Pizza sucks. Ignorance is bliss. All right, so what we're looking at here is the Smart Wool PhD Hunt wool socks, the newest of the new. So Smart Wool sent me a couple of these. I am going to review these. I just have to figure out how. I mean, you don't want to see my feet, right? Nobody wants to see my feet, but you want me to tell you why these socks are so good. So I have to figure out how to do that. So that's going to be a challenge, but it's going to happen in the next week or two. So these Smart Wool socks, and they're great. This little section back here, Boot Guy Reviews Pizza. I think I'm going to start reviewing pizza on my road trips because there's a couple pizza places that I love to go to when I'm out shooting the boots. So look at this sock. Look at this section right in here. You see this? That's your Achilles, okay? This section here and this section here, they're two different weaves. There's so much more. Oh, definitely Smart Wool. So Mark's asking, do I love the Incrediwear? I love the Incrediwear, but these are winter hunting socks. These are actual winter hunting socks. These are amazing. Just the way they're woven and constructed. So this is how you tell if a sock is good or not. You flip it inside out and you look at all these little chunks. If they're really furry and they're really hairy, this is going to trap a lot of heat. It's going to keep you warm. So that's that sock. Sometime I'm going to do a Smart Wool. I'm going to figure out how to review socks. So yes, I still love the Incrediwear socks. The Incrediwear socks were my favorite socks all summer long. But as I'm moving into winter, as I don't really wear insulated boots, I have to wear wool socks. And King, come on. An American flag woven into a sock. Tell me that's not the coolest thing ever. Yeah, Darn Toughs are nice. They really are great socks. But You know, when you're kind of married to something for a while, you understand it really well. And I think what I need to do is I need to pick up a couple of pairs of Darn Tough in the next couple of weeks and start wearing them and just get a real idea on what they are as socks and what they are as a company. So the lifetime replacement thing, you know, that's great. All the sock companies offer that. I don't know if I would really want, after like 5 or 6 years of getting all that life and energy out of an item, tell a company like, I'm not going to buy no more from you. I'm going to send you back my old one. So I can never personally react to the lifetime guarantee. But more power to you, dude. If you want to keep sending your socks back, do it. Do it. I have not done any Matterhorn boots. I've owned Matterhorn boots. I have not done a review on any Matterhorn boots. I haven't come in contact with anything new from them. So I haven't picked anything up to do a review of them. T-Max Heat Socks? Not familiar with the T-Max Heat Socks. How good of rain gear do you need for the winter? Right. Okay, so first, good rain gear for the winter. What are you doing in this rain gear? Where are you at? How much rain are you experiencing? Temperature range. I guess those questions are really important for me to suggest anything. And that's the same thing I do with the Incrediwear. I change the thicknesses. I wear Incrediwear all summer long, all the Heritage, all the Western boots, everything. I wear the Incrediwear through there. And then as the seasons change, I change over into my Smart Wool. This year I get to change into new Smart Wool socks that I'll be reviewing. Last year I wore the same Smart Wool socks I've been wearing for like 10 years. They were awesome. They're still awesome. They still look, I'm not gonna say that they look new, they look old, but they're great. Windproof, waterproof rainwear. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. Battery operated socks, they heat up your foot, you sweat. Once you start sweating and then you remove the heat source, forget about it. That's why battery operated stuff, sweatshirts, jackets, battery operated boots, all that stuff to keep you warm, you can do it. I mean, just move around a little bit more. Your body is an engine. Make it work. No, it's not that you don't know shit about it, but it sounds really good. You're going to put a pair of battery operated socks. You're going to put a pair of battery operated socks inside your boot. You're going to be warm all day. A big D or C battery hanging off your leg. It sounds like a great idea, but it's not for you guys working. That's for people sitting at a football game. Or ice fishermen. Ice fishermen that sit on the ice, no shanty, battery operated socks, great for them. You don't see many of them using them, guys that are, you know, lifelong walleye winter ice fishermen, but that's who they're for. Okay, so let's get back to the rainwear. And let me pull up something that I thought was really cool that I found the other day and that I really need to take a look at. Helly Hansen work is what I'm looking for. HH. All right, so they actually make a rain jacket that is out. This stuff is expensive, and you could get as good a quality from Carhartt in their rain stuff, but good quality rain gear is going to be tough. It's going to be built right. It's going to take a good amount of abuse, and depending on where you're at, and it should always be windproof. This jacket here, but in black, not in racer blue. This is an awesome jacket. I would say buy it one size bigger than your normal size so you can fit a sweatshirt underneath, because once you put this thing on and you put a sweatshirt underneath it, you have just you have just created the perfect thermal insulation because no wind can penetrate, nothing gets in, nothing gets out. All your heat is going to be exhausting through the top. If you got one of these things to stop the heat, you're going to keep it in, keep even more in. Awesome rain gear. The Helly Hansen stuff. So the Bass Pro 100 mile per hour stuff and the Cabela's Guideware, same stuff, great stuff. A little pricey because you got to remember that stuff is made for guys that are fishing at that 50 degree to 40 degree on the boats moving in the cold water. But it's great stuff. It's not the most durable. It looks strong. It seems like it's made well, but it's not really all that durable. It doesn't handle a lot of folding really well. And when you start to fold that material and then you bump it, it's gonna crack. It's gonna start to fray there a lot quicker than, say, like a work item, like a Carhartt raincoat or something like that. What do I recommend for winter work boots? Winter work boots is a really, really, really tough, because everybody's different when it comes to winter work boots. Evan, where you at? First part. What's your temperature range? What's all that other stuff before we start suggesting winter work boots? And what about waxing the hell out of some Carhartt stuff? I've seen guys do it. I've seen a lot of the old time city workers used to wax their Carhartt jackets. It looks like crap, but they say it works. And far be it for me to argue with somebody that's been doing something for 50 years and swears by it. No, I don't ever use my Heritage boots to work in. I work in tactical boots, or I work in like regular work boots, like such a wedge sole or something like that. Heritage type boots, unless my work for that day is taking pictures or talking to clients, I'm not wearing them there. This is still one of my favorite winter work boots out there. This Chippewa boot, this is still one of my favorite. Oh, a 4200's a work boot. I don't consider the 4200s, the 6201s, I don't consider those to be Heritage boots. I consider those to be work boots. I mean, they're most stylish work boots for, in that Heritage vein, but yeah, I still consider those work boots. And yeah, I wear those all the time. So the Chippewa here, that is a badass boot. Insulated, waterproof, it's a logger, full inch off the ground. You're not going to get transference from being too close to the ground like you would with a very thin-soled shoe. Wonderful, wonderful boot. Not the best. I'm not saying it's the best boot out there. It's not the best for everybody. Like we said before, not everybody can wear a logger sole. The heel is just too much for some people. So the Salomons or the Danner 600, yeah, Both of them are great for walking around. It's what they're engineered for. They're engineered for a lot of walking around, especially the new 600s. They're just really for hiking, for walking, for getting out there, and they're going to be great work boots. And I still feel that hiking boots make perfect work boots for guys that don't have to kick shovels all day long. If you've got to move material, drywall, lumber, work in a lumber yard, I think that a hiking boot is an excellent choice for a boot. So 5 degrees Fahrenheit in Ontario, Canada. Well, that changes everything. That's really cold. That's like a constant temperature. Ontario is a very cold place. So, Evan, have you ever worn a logger? I mean, a logger would be awesome. But let's see if we can't. Hold on. There was something else I saw back here on this page with the winter boots. But I think the Danner 600 would be a great all-day walking boot. They're phenomenal. This thing. This new Timberland, it's not a lot of insulation, you know, but it's the perfect type of insulation. It's the closed cell insulation. It's puncture resistant sole. It's a safety toe. It's got the waterproof membrane. It's comfortable. It's flexible. You're off the ground. It is a beautiful boot, a purely beautiful boot for the winter. If you need insulated safety toes for the winter. If you don't need a safety toe, I guess it's pointless then, correct? I'm sure we can all agree on that. What do I suggest that doesn't have a high heel? I got one for you. Hold on. I'm scrolling. I have a review out there for this boot. This is a Woods and Stream, which is a subsidiary of Thorogood. This is an excellent boot. Insulation in this thing. 400 grams of Thinsulate. It's Scotch guarded. It's a beautiful, beautiful boot. And I do have a review out there for it. I did it last year. Let's see if we can find it. Yes, I have experience with Oslo, men's and women's. Me and the wife both have them. We both really like the Oslo. So this is one of those reviews I recorded where I was really low down. This is when I thought I should really have the camera low down. Aren't you glad that those didn't stay around long? But that boot, that is an awesome boot. Look how short that beard is too. Oh man, that's so funny. Woods and Streams is not a domestic product. This one, I believe, is made in the USA, but most of the stuff is not made in USA. This model is made in the USA. This model is made up at the Thorogood factory, and it is worth every penny of. They say it's $2.99. I'm sure that boot can go as low as $2.59, maybe less. Yeah, we love the Oslos. Um, Before this whole project started, we spent a lot of time doing outdoor stuff, a lot of hiking, a lot of kayaking. So we both wore Oslos. Live videos are fun. I have to get a chair. I'm standing this whole time. I would really like to have a chair to sit on. But I think if I sit in a chair, I won't be able to work all the stuff that I got going on here. You know, I got two computers going on, so I can see what you guys are saying, and then so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. You know what I'll show you guys is the Arbor Wear sweatshirt that I'm going to do the review on. I'm not going to show you the actual sweatshirt because I would have to go find it. Any gloves recommendation for a New York winter? I have yet to. So Mark, well, I got the winters in New York, but so the Knicks boots, I'm still waiting for a pair. I sent them back. The one was a little off in the arch, just enough that I didn't think, in comparison to some of my other stuff, that it would break in properly. And they have been awesome. The guys at Knicks, the communication back and forth is outstanding. That's the tech sweatshirt. That's not the one we want to show you. No, that is the one we want to show you. This sweatshirt. Good winter hat and gloves. Okay. Hats and gloves will be next. We'll get to the hats and gloves. This sweatshirt from Arbor Wear. It is double thick. It is so heavy, thick, and warm that this sweatshirt and a vest, you really don't need much else. I mean, and we're talking 20s, we're talking teens. It's just that warm. The way that hood snaps up and it comes over your face and comes over. If you got to put a face shield on, if you got to wear a hard hat with ear protection, it can all fit there, but the hood's big enough to go over your hard hat and your ear protection. This sweatshirt is outstanding. I will do a full review on this and the 3/4 zip because they're just, the construction, everything about Arbor Wear and this item and this sweatshirt, everything about this thing and this, the construction, the materials, everything is phenomenal. All right, so first spec, let's go back to the gloves. Gloves for a New York winter. Now, are we talking New York City proper? Are we talking Buffalo, like before we had Jay from Buffalo? Where are we talking in New York? Designed for those who don't trust the weatherman. Winter hats, huh? So my favorite wool hat of all time. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Right here. And it doesn't have to be made by Rothko. It just has to be the Department of Defense wool hat that is made for the government. This is, in my opinion, this is the best double layer wool hat out there. It washes great. They last forever. They look better as they get older, and it's black. I mean, If you ever want to look like a New England fisherman or somebody from the set of Jaws, that's the hat you want to wear. It is really that warm, and it's really nice. It's not a scratchy wool. Brand new, it might be a little itchy. You soak it in hot water overnight. You let it dry on a radiator or by a heater or with a fan on it. You wake up the next day, you roll it around, it's good to go. Arbor wear. Arbor, not harbor. Arbor. A. It's that Chicago accent. I understand. It sounds like I'm saying harbor wear. It's arbor wear. You can't see my mouth moving. I got all this hair in front of it. I understand. No, see, that's the other. The Rothkos. There's other brands out there that make this for the Department of Defense. The Rothko, I've had a few of them. They do get a little loose, over a couple of years. But it's a couple of years at $10. So you buy 3 for $30 and you're good for who knows how long, till you lose them. Yeah, exactly. $10 you can get behind that hat, right? My watch is a basic Seiko. It's my everyday, go everywhere, do everything watch. There's nothing fancy about it. A Seiko X. I quit buying nice watches a really long time ago when I realized it was not something that I could keep going with. So I got one Seiko that does everything I need to do, stopwatch and the time. Well, bomber hats are great. Trooper caps, oh. Japanese made? That's a really good question. I don't know if it's Japanese made. Yes, my Seiko is made in Japan. That's where I'm at. My watch is my phone, except this is a habit of mine to keep looking at it no matter, and when it's not on, when I leave it at home and I'm going out and I'm doing something, I keep doing this. I keep pulling up my sleeve to see, like, what time is it? Oh, my watch isn't on. And I'll keep doing it all day long till I remember. Well, hold on. Yes, so these trooper hats, these are exceptionally warm hats too for the bitter cold, for the 10 degrees, the zero, the below zero when you have to be out there. These things are awesome. I wear one of these and I don't even need a shirt. That's how warm that hat is. That hat will keep you warm and you can just go out in a t-shirt and it just holds all that heat in. A pair of insulated boots, a good pair of gloves, that, no sweatshirt, just that hat, you're awesome. So Mark, we were talking about the long johns early, and I couldn't remember the name of it, but now I do. The Duofold, which was before I started wearing the smart wool. It was always Duofold. This is the one. Buffalo Wool Company. I'm going to have to look into that Buffalo Wool Company. Long johns, Duofold. If you don't want to afford the smart wool, this stuff is a good alternative, though it is polyester. As you could see, 96 poly, 4% stretch. It does wick, it does get a little whiffy. So bean burritos in this stuff all day long, it doesn't let go of the stench. You're going to have to soak them. So it is warm though, very warm. They do make a two-phase wool and polypropylene that is pretty nice. Yeah, I mean the dual fold, before I started wearing Smartwool, dual fold was the best. And I still have a lot of dual fold. It never wore out. I mean, usually the bottoms give out. Usually with thermal underwear, they give out either down there or in the waistband. They held up really well. If you can get a union suit, awesome. Union suits are definitely awesome, especially for the bitter cold, man. A lot of times I wish I had a union suit. Dual Fold is still in business, but it's no longer Dual Fold. It's owned by somebody else. And who they're owned by, I'm not 100%. Could be Fox River or one of those people. You know, most of these names of these companies that we've been used to for all these years, they kind of buy and sell the names and then just manufacture the stuff somewhere else. Are you buying your union suit from LL Bean, or are you buying them from somebody else? I guess that's a really good question. Where are you getting a union suit from? Amazon. Okay, that makes sense, because here we go. A dual fold union suit, and you don't have to wear red anymore, because now it does come, it looks like it's navy blue. Navy blue. Yeah, LL Bean does make a good cotton one. Fire buffalo wool. Here's the wool next to the musk ox wool and yak. All right, cool. Union suits, guys. I love them. I always have loved the union suit. As long as you don't have to do a number 2, you're good. You're good. If you can do your number 2 before you put it on, awesome. But going through that little back door hole, pulling those cheeks through there, I don't think that's gonna. I don't think that's an experiment that I want to try. No, I don't drive a truck. I drive a Subaru Outback. I used to drive a Toyota FJ Cruiser and a Nissan Xterra, all off-roading stuff, but I've long since grown that out, and now I have a very practical vehicle that gets 45 miles to the gallon. I can go anywhere for almost nothing. And my one wheel, yeah. Because I am in the city. I'm in the city, so the one wheel is a great thing. Alright, so let me pull up this next. Whoa! 250,000 miles on a Forester. Holy shit! Dude, that's kick-ass. That is so kick-ass. Wow. Is that like a 1998? Wow, that's a lot of miles. So hopefully very soon I'm going to be doing a review on this jacket. I got to figure out how to show you guys just how waterproof and just how warm it is for what it does. I got to figure out some sort of thermometer system in order to do an outside temperature and an inside temperature. You put 250,000 on a 2004? What? Holy smokes. Chicago is known as the Windy City, but it has nothing to do with the pockets of high moving velocity air down through the buildings. It has to do with our politicians being a bunch of windbags. And though it does get windy here, but it doesn't get as windy as other places that I've been. I've been places where, think about living in Tornado Alley. Whoa. We do get some driving rains where nothing stays dry. Even waterproof jackets get wet. Anything from Barbaro, yes. That is like the extravagance of extravagant when it comes to beautiful raincoats and motorcycle, alternative motorcycle gear. Not for guys riding Harleys, but more for the guys that ride the BMWs and the Triumphs and stuff. The Barbaro stuff is definitely nice stuff. Bird hunters, upland hunters, all wear Barbaro, and it makes sense. It's really nice stuff. There's no place around in the city of Chicago to buy Barbaro, at least the type of stuff that you would wear, that we would wear for work and keeping us warm and dry. But I do love it. I'd say for wiring in the wind, man, you would really need to, if you're up on in a cherry picker, trash bags are the best. Trash bags, packing tape, duct tape, and a pair of scissors, right? That's the best way to do that. Yeah, I can imagine having to use a bunch of silicone spray on there it goes, the official site. And it says we have 2 Barbaro stores in Chicago, and I've never been. Yes, but buying anything at Orvis, you're just looking for some sort of pompous prick to tell you that, to tell you about some vacation he took while he was wearing his Orvis fly fishing jacket, which is why I stay away from that place. As much as I love fishing, and as much as I love outdoor stuff, and as much as I love Orvis as a shop and as a brand, I just can't go in that place. That's just way too pompous for me. Jose Gonzalez, has anyone used the Costco 30-degree shirts or the underpants? I have not. I looked at those the other day when we were buying booze, and I don't know. They look good. The fiber content's good. The weaving's good. but I don't know. The sling packs, Jose, I would say try that 32-degree stuff from Costco. And the worst thing is that if it doesn't work, you don't stay warm in it, bring it back. Costco's really good about that. When their products don't work, they allow you to bring it back and tell them it doesn't work. So really good about that. Doug, take care. The sling packs for fly fishing. So are we talking the ones that Orvis sells? I like to wear everything on my waist. You know, that's whole wearing it over your shoulder just kind of seems to get, you know, doesn't seem to work that well for me. Seems to move around. Yeah, so Jose, you're right. At $9, you're not going to break the bank to stay warm. Super hot curry, why are you yelling? He just likes the caps. Because I can. Do people recognize me when I'm out and about? Yes, I have guys drive by in trucks and honk the horn and say, "Yo, boot guy." Yeah. The worst is when it's a truckload of city workers and they yell out the window, "Hey, boot guy." That's kind of embarrassing, but then at the same time, it's kind of cool. Boot moisturizer. You sure she? So you asked the super hot curry. Don't worry about yelling. Yell all you want. It's just capital letters. It doesn't bother me. That Hellcore from Timberland. That's a hell of a cool material, isn't it? You've seen those videos of the guys a few years back for trying to set it on fire? That's some great stuff. Hellcore became Everguard, which you'll find on most of the Timberland Pro boots. So that is just a super sweet material. Yeah, I think any stylish boot that you can dump mustard on and ketchup on and it just kind of falls right off is A-okay with me. I mean, I usually eat on the run, so a couple of chili dogs dripping all over my boots, if it just falls off, pretty damn cool. So Hellcore is fine with me. I don't care for the style of boot that they make the Hellcore stuff out of, that old tree style. Timberland Tree, there's Timberland Pro, there's Timberland Tree, there's Timberland Street. So I don't like those old tree styles that they use. I wish they would use more of that Hellcore on a work style, which would make a lot of sense, especially for concrete guys. But that ain't happening anytime soon. Golden Fox, is it worth it in holding up? And of course, chili dogs add to the characters of boots. At least the dogs like to lick the boots. But the Golden Fox stuff, yeah, it's worth it. You got to think of the price range where you're at, where you're just at $100, maybe a few bucks over. Yeah, Golden Fox is releasing a bunch of new American-made styles. So they understand that guys like their boots, so they're going to start making boots that are more in line of what we want. We want more domestic-made products, and they're going to make some more domestic-made products. I love the Kodiak boots. Kodiak is pretty damn good. I mean, the style of them, we're talking style boots, I like those. I think the best part about Kodiak is their CSA standards, which the Canadian safety standards are just amazing on how they build stuff right. Danner Vicious. Jeez, I almost wish they'd stop making the Danner Vicious. Oh, that's one of those boots I really don't like. I mean, it's comfortable, it's nice, it's a hiking hybrid, but man, Danner, I want Danner to make stuff that's like, like the Quarry and like the Power Foreman and the Mountain Light 2. That's what I think of when I think of Danner. But Danner actually understands that they're a lifestyle brand, so they're going to start making more lifestyle stuff. If I ever go to New York, lunch is on you. Okay, as long as we're hanging out in either, Brooklyn's or by Ocean Parkway, because that's where I spent a lot of time as a kid, was on the Ocean Parkway. The 4422s killed my feet. What? Come on. How can those things kill your feet? You must have gotten an ill-fitting pair. It happens. Hold on. Okay, back to Smoky. Yes, there is, well, okay, I don't want to call it a heritage review. I've got some stuff in the works from Alan Edmonds that's going to be very heritage-esque without it being proper, heavy, thick leather. The styling, the materials, everything that goes into making a boot definitely qualifies as a heritage style. It's just a much softer, pliable leather. Why do all New Yorkers come to Chicago? I have no idea. They should be asking, why did this Chicagoan go to New York as a child? Yeah, the Red Wing Rovers. If you're working, Kodiak Blue, definitely. Leave the Hellcores alone. Work in something that's a real work boot. If you're just going to wear them around and you want them to look good with jeans, okay, Hellcore is where you should go. No, I don't play any sports. I'm not a sporting guy. I fish, and that's about it nowadays. And that's not a sport. I think individual things doesn't make, well, it's, sports take teams. Holy shit. Got an hour and a half involved. Okay. Well, if you want to know why the Cubs lost to the Dodgers, we should ask the Cubs. And I think the Cubs should be doing live streams and live tweets where we can ask them all those questions on why they lost. The topic is winter gear and buying stuff for the winter gear. So Jose asked, what else does he need for a New York winter? He bought the Gotham jacket from North Face. I'm not familiar. I'm not very good on what North Face makes and what not. It's not one of those brands that I gravitate towards. Logger boots, insulated logger boots. Okay, wool socks. Well, you're definitely going to need a good coat that, well, I guess the North Face Gotham's a good coat. Something around your neck, a hat, some gloves, maybe a face mask, because if you guys get swamped again with a bunch of snow, you're going to want to have a face mask, that's for sure. Baffin boots. Baffin's got a lot of great stuff. Baffin also has a lot of crap out there. So Anything from Baffin that's going to be over the 150 range, where they have either the real wool removable insole with an insole, a soft cushion built into the sole, you got good Baffin stuff. Baffin stuff that has the checkerboard pattern foam insulation in there with the crappy honeycomb on the bottom of that inside the boot, it's crap. So $79 to $119, forget about the Baffin. Move up into the higher price stuff if you want to talk about Baffin. Our $1 pizzas keep us warm. Wow. 40 degrees Celsius, that's cold, dude. Sorel Kaufman's and the Caribou boot. Oof. I don't know about cleaning those wool liners and those Sorels, dude. That's going to be a real tough one. Those Sorel liners don't clean up at all, so you probably just want to pick yourself up some new boot liners before you start cleaning up your Sorel, before you even try to clean those. We are back to pizza, sigh. Everything leads back to pizza in this world. There. New Sorel boot liners, 49 bucks. You can't go wrong. They'll last you another 10 or 15 years, the liners alone. And the boot breaks or wears out, you can wear those as slippers. Because those are some great stuff. Wait, your alignment that doesn't like a super tall heel? The guys aren't going to like that. Okay, so if you're a lineman that's spending more time on the ground than you are climbing, then you just need like an 8-inch. So let's answer this boot question about linemen's boots that are not as tall as normal. Let me go back to where I was earlier. Do I like Trump? I don't like anybody. I am the least political person out there right now. I think they're all a bunch of assholes for just treating us all like assholes. Nobody, a bunch of millionaires that treat us slaves like assholes, and that's what they do. They take our tax dollars and they spend it on shit that we never see. All right, so a lineman's boot for a guy that's on the ground, that's not climbing and putting gaffs on. An 8-inch boot. Lineman's steel toe. Believe it or not, for the winter, this Carhartt boot is an excellent choice for a lineman who's on the ground. You got to climb once in a while. You got to put the gaffs on, I imagine, from time to time, or else you're using a cherry picker. But that's an awesome boot for a lineman that's on the ground more often than he's in his harnesses. Am I a cracker? Well, it depends on what you consider a cracker. I don't understand the phrase cracker anymore. Yes, my wife is okay with everything I'm doing. I shoot YouTube videos all the time. She's got to be okay with it, you know? Oh, the Irish setter Havoc, huh? Yeah. What are my thoughts on that new Irish setter? Hold on. Let's pull it up so everybody can see it. Oh, denied. Hold on, I gotta find it from a different source. Funny thing is when you search out Irish setter and you get pictures of dogs. You gotta make sure you put an Irish setter boot. Okay, so that's the Vapor Track. Marshall Wing Shooter, Upland Wing Shooter. The LA Vapor Track. Southpaw, Elk Tracker. Come on, where are you, Havoc? Oh, why are you not popping, dude? Okay, so what are my thoughts on this boot? Let me take a sip of my coffee first, hold on. Because this is going to be good. Okay, first and foremost, this boot is an upland hunting boot. This is a bird hunting boot that guys wear for work. So, this section here, okay, the boot is great. The leather is great. The sole is great. It's a dual density urethane sole. It's soft, it's flexible, it's bouncy, it's waterproof, it's everything. This section here for work, this right around this toe section, right in here, is horrible. Because every other brand that makes a mock toe boot folds over a piece of leather. This is two pieces joined together and stitched. And there's a name for that type of stitch right now for what it's called. I can't remember what it is. It's paquet or paco or something like that. Paco, something like that. For what that stitch is called. For everything but work. As a hunting boot, as an outdoor boot, as a fishing boot, as a snowmobiling, hanging out in a woods boot, doing outdoor stuff, excellent boot. But as a work boot, not so much, guys. Not so much. I mean, it's going to be comfortable, but it's going to fall apart on you. Do I like knives? Yeah. I mean, they cut my food. Do I carry a knife? I carried a Benchmade for a long time, and I switched over to a Leatherman because I need more tools more often than I need a knife. Or legacies and the originals? You know what? I really don't know the answer to that question. I've been exposed to so many different brands in the last year that for the longest time it was Red Wing, Timberland, and Danner for me. But I got all these other brands that I have not been keeping up on what all the stuff is about Red Wing. And I know the words. I know that it applies to something. And I'm sure if I just opened up a Red Wing catalog, I'd be able to answer those questions, but 8.5 triple E. Holy smokes. Dude, you've got yourself a foot. Nothing wrong with that, though. So you're looking for an engineer boot in 8.5 triple E. So it's gonna have to either be Carolina or Red Wing for an engineer boot that's going to be wide enough to fit your foot. You're probably not going to find an engineer boot in triple E width. I hate when they don't call them pull-ons. Yeah, I think it's Zero Tolerance. Follow them on Instagram. They're one of the companies that I follow. This right here. So McCormick 10020022236, 8.5 triple E. This thing might actually cut it. And steel toe or non-steel toe. I guess you need steel toed, an actual metal toe. That would cut it. And they're all chemical resistant. It's a nylon cord sole, so it's chemical resistant. His foot's not a square. It's just he's got a really wide foot. He's probably got better balance than all of us. Canada versus the U.S. in a snowball fight. Canada versus the U.S. as far as walleye fishing, I'm going to have to go with Canada. Better walleye fishing. Canada as opposed to the U.S. for taco stands? Well, come on, I think we got you beat. Good. Sal, are you Daffy Duck? You talking to me? Wow. 11 o'clock. 2 hours. Any more winter questions? Anybody want to know anything about winter stuff? My coffee is completely cold. Ice cold. He's an angry grandpa. I can hear the motorcycles riding on the expressway. Okay. Do I like salmon or salmon or Simon? And Ernest Emerson. That is a very familiar name for some reason, Frank. Probably another one of those guys that I follow on Instagram that all day long I look at these beautiful knives and I think, wow, that's a beautiful knife. Eric, thanks, buddy. Thanks for hanging out the whole time. Recommend thermal underwear. I'm going to go back to Smart Wool and Dual Fold. Winter is the best. I agree. Winter is the best. Gentlemen, it was fun. Thank you so much. Just to answer that last question. Long underwear, Dual Fold, and Smart Wool. But I am out of here. Thanks so much for watching. Keep hitting that subscribe button. And a sock review coming real soon. You'll get to see my bare feet probably. I'll be sure to make sure they're nice and toe jammy. That should be great, huh? Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. Stay out of trouble.